and we are going to be looking at finding the perimeter of rectilinear shapes. So yesterday we were looking at finding the perimeter of rectangles, and this time, today, it's find the perimeter of rectilinear shapes, which look like this. So basically any shape that is made up from one or two or more, rectangles. So if you remember yesterday, when we look at finding the perimeter of a shape, it is the path around the outside, the distance around the outside. I like to think of it as we have little Dave here. Little Dave goes on the walk all the way around the shape. We need to see how far Dave has walked. In the example, it says an ant. I quite like the idea of Dave though. So, in order to find the perimeter of this type of shape, we can't do any multiplying because it's not even, is it? It's not a complete rectangle. So the best way to do it is to go around each side and add the lengths together. Now, it's really, really important that as you are adding these lengths together, you are crossing them off. So you're not missing any out and you're not adding any twice. So Dave's starting here. He comes along this length at first, which is 8 centimetres. So I'm going to just keep a tally, 8 centimetres. Then he comes along this length, which is another 8 centimetres. 8 add 8, and I'm going to cross that one out, is 16 centimetres. So we're up to here. And then he comes along this length, which is 4 centimetres. So 16 add 4 is 20. We're up to this point. Then he comes along this edge and he walks along here. That's another 4 centimetres that I need to add. 20 add 4 is 24 centimetres. Then he comes along this length, which is another 4 centimetres. Let's add that to our total. 24 add 4 is 28 centimetres. And then he's got this length to walk, which is the final 4 centimetres. I'll cross that off, add it on, which gives my total of 32 centimetres. I will know, well, I can check that the answer's there, so that's good news. If all of these have been crossed off, I know that I've added them all up and I haven't missed any on. Now, lots of you will be able to do this in your head, which is absolutely fine. Some of you will need to make notes, which is also absolutely fine, like I have done here. You might want to actually write out the number sentence as a whole rather than just a continual tally, as you can see. So that is how you find the perimeter of a rectilinear shape. Let's have a go at another one, a little bit more of a complicated one. Let's get Dave. He doesn't always have to start in this corner, but I quite like that because then I know once I've got to here, that's the start and that's the finish as well. So let's have a go. First of all, Dave walks up to here, 8 centimetres. So I'm just going to write 8, goes down this length, which is another 3. 8 add 3 is 11. He goes along here, which is another 3. Let's cross that one off. 3 add 11 is 14. Goes along this side, which is 4. 4 add 14 is 18. Comes along this side, which is adding another 2, which is 20. Then we go up here. This is 4 centimetres. 20 add 4 is 24. If we go along here, it's another 3, which is 27. And then finally, back to the start. 27 add 3 is 30. 30 centimetres. So just as a final reminder, take care not to miss any of the sides. Tick them off or cross them off like I have done as you go. So your challenge today, Prep 4, is using the practice sheets, both mild and hot. You've got some shapes. You will need to create your own Daves. 2 options. You can either write down the lengths. So for example, for this one, that would be 2. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've forgotten my centimetres. Otherwise we would think it's sausages. That's not right. Like this, and then add them up, or you can count as you go, which I'll demonstrate on this one if that's our starting point here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the perimeter of B is 14 centimetres. Either option is absolutely fine. Before you start, it does ask you to just, or I'm asking you, should I say, to have a look, which one do you think is going to have the largest perimeter? Same with this one. Challenge on the hot sheet. if you'd like to have a go at it. And then answers for you to self-mark. If you're a bit stuck, this is looking at calculating, it's revisiting the perimeter of just rectangles. I say, okay, so when you're doubling the length and the width of the sides. So have a go at that if you found it a little bit tricky. If you're finding today's lesson a little bit tricky, if you think you could do with a little bit more practice of yesterday's lesson, that's what I'd like you to do. And then the investigation, it's rearranging rectangles. It's quite a nice one. It's asking you to draw out 8 rectangles, cut them out, and then create shapes, T's and L's, which is quite cool. And then find the perimeter of the shapes that you've created. Now, in order to be able to do this successfully, use centimetres paper or the squares in your book like yesterday and just pretend that they are centimetres. All right, good luck in today's lesson. I hope you enjoy.